This is card number 2. What's really important when you're working with this card is to remember that you need pairs. So you need both of these shapes on either side actually representing a pair. It's a fabulous card with lots of detail in it, lots of dimension and great areas for us to be able to add colour and decoration. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in a different colourway. I'm going to work with the black as my foundation. You'll find that you've got score lines. Each of them on the edges are going to press to the front, and then we're going to concertina back each of the sides. That's the first one. This is our second. Making sure, remembering that we've got our pairs. That's the most important thing about this particular card shape, and it's also the thing that if anything is going to go wrong, it will be that. So we've got now our panels. Because these are going to sit inside the card, I would be recommending that we actually put them in flat. If you want to add dimension, keep the dimension for the outer edges, because it's the outer edges that are going to be able to be the most free. You can see just by using the bookbinding glue, I can slide this into place and get the perfect border. So I'm just doing my mats and layers before I actually start to build the base of the card. And there we've created the back. That back is going to sit in here and sit in perfectly. It'll be nice and snug, but it also means that we get a great finish. So the important thing when you're coming to put the back on the card is, first of all, make sure that you're using a strong adhesive. We don't want with the heat of central heating in homes, this to actually come apart. The other thing is, don't be tempted to push it right up to the score line. Pull it away by just a millimetre, because that means that the sides of the card will actually overlap and sit flatter. So it allows for the extra dimension that we've got here. Sliding this into place, allowing that millimetre on both sides, will give us a really professional finish. The next thing that I'm going to do is do the decoration on the front. Now I've already laid these out, making sure that I've got pairs. So that panel is already completed. This one is, oh, there we go, that one's for this side. So you can see how it would be easy to get these mixed up. But having looked at them and checked them, I'm sure that I've got them right. So let's build our pairs and then put them onto the card. So this one's already been completed. This is the second one. So I need this one facing each other. Then going to layer up. And I've put mine on flat. It is a good idea that if you want to get extra dimension, you want it to look more luxurious, you may want to add another layer of foam pads. It's quick, it's simple to be able to create these layers. And there we've got our first pair. The second pair we can see, I've already created this one. I'm keeping the diagonals on the same side, just checking, just to make sure that I have got everything in the right position. And then I'll take my card, and I do know that I'm going to need to swap over a couple of these to make it work because we've got a zigzag. So we're doing a sort of a reverse mirror image. That's the second of the pairs, and there's the third that I've already completed. Now let's take the card. The first panel I'm going to work with, I'm going to line up with the diagonal. So that you can see it, I'm going to lay it out so that we can put this right in place. And it's a perfect fit. Now, to make sure that we don't get this wrong, I'm now going to open up the other side and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So by working with it like this, I can be sure that I'm getting the best results. I'm also just checking that that fold is in place and I haven't got the design too close to those score lines. Remember, we talked about that in video number 1, card shape number 1. So that's in position. Now let's turn this over and close it up so we can see where we're going next. Now by opening up these panels, I can see that I'm needing to put my next set here. So again, using my bookbinding glue, I particularly like using wet glue when it comes to things like this because it allows us to be able to slide the design. Again, checking I'm not too close to the edges. I'm just going to put the second panel in place. So where would we put decoration for this? Where might we put a sentiment or our flowers? Well, a sentiment, of course, could go inside. I'm just checking that this is level at the top here and also level at the bottom, which it is. Sentiment could be going inside. We could be putting decoration on each of these panels, so we could be putting flowers or even just lace effects from one of our other cut elements that we've got on our USB. Finally, that's our 6th panel in place. 6 panels, each of them with 3 layers of decoration, just making sure they're pushed directly into place while that glue just sets. And what's interesting is the difference that you get when you reverse the colourways. So there we've got the positive and the negative, and just by lifting this up, I'll show you the depth of the decoration, which you can see from above.